Juste pour vous dire comment est-ce que ça va se dérouler, tout d'abord, la conférence de presse sera en anglais, donc on a beaucoup de visiteurs et de guests qui sont anglophones. Ensuite, on prendra toutes les questions à la fin de la conférence et on aura un moment avec vous en one-on-one, si vous voulez des one-on-one. Il y a une salle qui a été préparée pour ça. Alors, je vous présente un peu tout le monde. D'abord, au centre, M. Martin, que vous connaissez tous, c'est le chairman de la NTPA. À ses côtés, vous avez deux joueurs internationaux de rugby, notamment M. Karl Heyman, qui est un ex-All Black player, qui a joué pour les All Blacks de 2001 à 2007. Et Karl a été considéré comme un des meilleurs pieds droits dans le rugby mondial. Et il joue maintenant au Rugby Club de Toulon. De l'autre côté, vous avez un joueur qui actuellement est au Natal Sharks, Jean Deisel. Jean a joué pour les Springboks en 2009 contre l'Italie. Ils se présenteront eux-mêmes un peu mieux par la suite. Des deux côtés, vous avez deux des sponsors de l'événement de juin prochain, M. Dinana. Derrière les choses, c'est M. Stubb de Beachcomber. Last but not least, vous avez M. John Phelps, qui est le Managing Director de la World Club Dance. Et ensuite, M. Kevin Venkaya, qui est le président du Rugby Union Organizations. Avant d'aller plus en profondeur dans ce qui sera cet événement sportif très très grand en juin, on va vous montrer un film qui est le trailer de présentation de ce que ce sera. Donc je vous laisse découvrir.
Excusez-moi, peut-être avant, Marcel, si on peut baisser l'air conditionné, parce que je crois que avant le film, on va tout remind myself how to speak in English. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Carl and Jin, who's come all the way, Jin from Durban, Carl from Toulon, to be with us today. I want to welcome them and wish them and their family, because I believe they're here with their family, and they both have a young family, and wish them a good holiday here, despite the weather. But as I was telling them, yesterday I met one of the very famous French tennis players who said, coming to your country under the rain, even coming under your country under the rain, it's a pleasure, because here the rain is warm. So hopefully, you will have our warmth, and if ever you get rain down, you will find out that even the rain is warm. I take this opportunity as well to welcome back my new friend, John Phelps, who's taken this initiative. Actually, John and his partner, Eric Serias, entertained me about this possibility, the eve of the Rugby World Cup final in London. And as I told them, I've been in the tourist industry for almost 40 years. And for 40 years, we've always tried to create an event, to create some animation in June in Mauritius, and we've never quite found the right event. So obviously, when John explained to me what could the Rugby World 10 do for us, I obviously got very interested, and later on very excited. I'm also very pleased to see that from a tourist industry point of view, our two main strategic partners, on the one end the national carrier Air Mauritius, and on the other end the biggest hotel chain Air Beachcomber, have also seen the opportunity, and I'm very pleased that we together we will be able to host this event, and I'm sure with firepower of both Air Mauritius and Beachcomber, we will be able to make the event a great a great success. I really look forward to it. And I like also to take this opportunity to welcome my friend Kevin Van Kammer, who has been has always been passionate about rugby. Actually, the first time I met Kevin, he went to collect some debt on our behalf, which he did very successfully. But I mean, when you look at the size of Kevin, you can imagine how efficient he was. And even in that meeting, he was talking about rugby with a passion. I see that Bernard Bradshaw, the ex-president of the Mauritius Rugby Football Union, is there as well. Welcome, Bernard. And I'm sure that with their support, we will be able to make the event very successful. I think I've read in the paper recently, maybe it was not so recently, that the rugby in Mauritius was one of the team sports which is known the greatest success or the greatest progress over the years. So even more so to have this rugby event, certainly from the media point of view, it's the right sport, and I think it's getting more and more. Rugby is getting more and more followership around the world. Actually, we couldn't have chosen a better day than today for the press conference. Actually, that's just after the first weekend of the Six Nations, and I could see that all the stadiums were packed, and there was some great atmosphere. And to finish, I like to finish on a quote. Le rugby est très important parce que le rugby permet aux enfants de devenir des hommes et permettre aux hommes à rester des enfants. I think we're going to have an amazing event. There will be not only the rugby will be great as you've seen on the television, but I think there will be a lot of atmosphere. In the strategy of the MTP, I mean, from the outset we said, we said that there was a need to revigorize the tourism product life cycle, and for this we need to keep the keep the mood. We need to keep the buzz going in Mauritius. We've started with a few festivals. We started actually our whole strategy. We started implementing our sport tourism strategy with the Afrasia Golf Open, which has been a great success, and which has brought the island a lot of exposure. We've supported many trails competition last year. We've supported many kite surf competition. We went on to more cultural festivities like the Festival International Creole, and ended up with Port Louis by Light, which has all been great success. And we were desperately looking for an event which will come and keep the buzz going and keep the mood flowing during our low season. So we are very pleased from a macro point of view to be associated with this event, and hopefully we are going to have a lot of fun as much as during Port Louis by Light, and we're going to create the right buzz not only during the weekend but throughout the medias. I know that this morning Lauren has called me already. They are firing press releases to all over the world, and later on we will be able to have some great images. But I think we need, like with all events, there is a need and there is a responsibility to make it a success, because we're not in it just for 1 year. I would like to see it, I would like us to be in it for the long term, and especially I've got no doubt with sponsors like Beachcomber and Air Mauritius, that we will make it a success and then carry it through in the long run. one of the aim of it as well is also to bring down during the event, obviously with the support and the firepower, the marketing network of both Beachcomber and Air Mauritius, to bring down a maximum number of visitors to this event during the course of June. And last but not least, I'd like to thank you all, the press, despite the weather. You might have been wet, but you don't look cold. I'd like to thank you very much for being here. And I'd like to thank you very much for all the support you've always brought the industry. That's much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Arnaud.
I will try to speak French because all the people speak English, but I'm best in French than in English. Le tournoi en elle-même, je vais juste vous parler un petit peu du rugby de l'île Maurice aujourd'hui. On a toute catégorie de -8, -10, -12, -14, -18 et les seniors. On a en plus les filles qui ont commencé à jouer au rugby, qui ont gagné le tournoi à Phrasia il n'y a pas longtemps. Le développement du rugby se fait très bien. Depuis qu'on a pris la présidence avec Patrick, on est passé de 300 ou 400 licenciés. Aujourd'hui, on est à plus de 1200 licenciés. Ça veut dire que le rugby, on aime le rugby à Maurice. On le voit peut-être pas à la télé, on le voit peut-être pas dans les journaux, mais ça se joue. Le but du tournoi aussi, c'est pour faire connaître le rugby à Maurice. C'est ce qu'on est en train de développer avec tous les éducateurs qu'on a aujourd'hui à Maurice. Alors le tournoi à 10, ça se joue à 10 comme ça se prononce, et deux périodes de 10 minutes. Un peu comme à 7, mais à 10, avec les mêmes règles qu'à 15. Voilà, à peu près exactement le tournoi à 10. Et je pense que ça va apporter beaucoup de choses, beaucoup de par la presse, apporter beaucoup de communication autour de l'océan Indien, parce que à l'intérieur du tournoi, on va me dire pourquoi Maurice ne joue pas le tournoi, parce que Maurice n'a pas la technique et puis les joueurs pour pouvoir jouer le tournoi. Avec John, on a créé un tournoi à l'intérieur du tournoi, le tournoi de la Roi, avec la Réunion, les Seychelles, Maurice, Madagascar et les Comores. On est en train de finaliser pour faire un tournoi à l'intérieur du tournoi à Maurice pendant la période au mois de juin. Voilà un petit peu. Et tout autour, il y a des tournois satellites qui vont se faire, de moins de 10, moins de 12, moins de 8, moins de 14, moins de 18. Et tous ces tournois-là, les finales vont être jouées pendant les 2 jours au Stade Anjalay. À chaque match des pros, juste à la fin, il y aura les tournois des moins 8, moins 10, moins 14, moins 16, jusqu'au senior. Voilà un petit peu le déroulement du tournoi. Et si vous avez d'autres questions, on en parlera après.
Involved in the event as well. Obviously, Kevin and the Rugby Union Mauritius, it's important that when you're working with these events that you actually have the Rugby Union involved. And one of the key areas I think Kevin mentioned in my pidgin French, I understood a little bit, but a key part for us is that we develop a very big legacy program and help promote and build rugby and develop it further in Mauritius. Thank you to the boys for coming. I have to say, a lot of people have said, why Mauritius? Well, the ease with which to get these two to come demonstrates to me why Mauritius is just a fantastic venue for this. I've been working in sport for about 25 years, and I have to say, this event that we've now built and coming here is, I think, very exciting for me. It's our event, so I'm obviously excited, but when you build an event, when you're taking an event and when you want to build something longer term, you have to have some key ingredients. You have to have a great product. 8 of the best rugby teams in the world, North versus South, which is what every rugby fan wants to see. Who is the best club? Having that as the driving force, and actually staging the event in probably one of the best holiday destinations in the world starts to become very logical why you do it. Because the infrastructure here, the tourist element to it, because this is not just about the spectators in Mauritius. This is all about bringing people here. If you look at some of the most successful annual rugby events in the world, Hong Kong Sevens, Dubai, etc., 60 to 80% of those crowds are from overseas. So hence why we have to have the right type of clubs with the Sharks and the Toulons of this world who draw people to it, who draw rugby fans, not only their own fans, and creating, as Kevin mentioned, all of the age group tournaments around it. So you create a unique experience where an under-9 player and their team from South Africa or Kenya or Dubai that have come down on tour have the chance to run out on the pitch at Angers on the Sunday and finals day and rub shoulders right next to the big boys who have just played. Only rugby can develop and create that type of experience and family atmosphere. And I think the key for everyone in Mauritius that we want to bring along is this isn't just about rugby. This is going to be a weekend of fun. It's going to be a carnival, a family festival atmosphere at the stadium. The Angers Stadium is a superb venue for that because it has so much space. So we can put the bouncy castles and we can put the bars and we can put everything that I've seen in Mauritius and embracing festival and carnival and joining a party. That's what it's going to be all about. On top of that, global TV, which is just a nice icing on the cake. But thank you very much. Obviously, I'm sure there's other questions, but hopefully that gives you a bit more insight. But we're very excited to be here, and we're looking forward to building and staying here for as long as Arnaud will let us. Thank you very much.
As John said, 80% of the people will be coming from abroad. So we need a good airline partner and a hotel partner. So we are looking forward to working with Beachcomber to bring all these people from abroad, not only the players, the fans, the journalists, etc., to cover the event, because as Arnaud said, June is the lowest month, I think, in terms of tourist arrivals. So one of the strategies for hosting this event in June will be to boost tourist arrivals in the month of June. And June is a good period for us because we have plenty of seats on the flight. It's a low season. Okay, so we are looking forward to working with John and his team to bring all these people down here. And there will be a good international coverage, and Mauritius will get a lot of publicity out of this event. And as Arnaud said, it will not only be only for this year. We plan to organize a tournament in the next 2 or 3 years, just to build on the momentum and the coverage that Mauritius will have. So looking forward to this event, which I hope will be a good success for Mauritius.
Kevin, we thought we had to be part of it. We're very happy to be one of the sponsors. We think that the spirit around the whole event is great. We saw a glimpse of that on the screen. There will be a lot of passion, a lot of emotions going around with the finals, and this is something we would like to share with the players that we will be hosting, but with the fans and with the Mauritians, because we also think it's a great opportunity to host an event like this in Mauritius. We also believe a lot into the communication and the exposure that this event will bring worldwide and in Mauritius. And in that case, we already have informed all our sales teams around the world, especially in the countries where some teams will be traveling to Mauritius. So they're all very excited and waiting for more information, and we're happy to push that event through sales and hoping to have more and more fans. And finally, we think that for the group, as a hotel group, we want to be more and more involved into that kind of events and share more experience with our guests. Rugby being one of the nice, and this event being one of the nice experience to share. But like Mr. Martin mentioned earlier on, there's more sports events like the trail and other features that we've been part to. So hopefully you will see more of us into the coming events in Mauritius.
I think the beauty of having Air Mauritius and Beachcomber is that Beachcomber having their own tour operator in most of those main markets, including Australia, South Africa, France, and the UK. So the customer could go to a one-stop shop and buy his holiday for that weekend here with. And I believe that's how you're going to market.
Yeah, this is what
this is, you know, as I said, you know, in those sort of events, you need the distribution and you need the firepower of whoever is behind the distribution. And I think that with Beachcomber, there couldn't have been and Air Mauritius, we couldn't have had better partners for that event.
Thanks a lot. Last but not least, we're very lucky today to have two big players with us. Big not only in size, as you've seen, but also because they are like good in what they do. Carl, will we start with you? Why come to that event, and what's the interest for your club to participate?
I think there's a number of reasons.
French or English?
Probably in English is easier for me. Yeah, obviously, Rugby Club Toulon are very proud to be associated with the event here in Mauritius. Our club's a club with a lot of history, and moving forward, we're really excited in working in this competition and coming down and promoting it. I think there's a lot of great things about the game of rugby. Obviously, there's the commercial reasons, and without the sponsors, these things wouldn't happen. But also, from our point of view, sharing the values of our game of rugby. And that's for the kids, for the youngsters, for the fans. And I think coming here in June is going to be a really special and something right on the calendar for any rugby fan to come and see. So thank you, everyone, for your invitation. Like I said, we're really happy to be involved, and look forward to coming back in June and getting into the rugby. Thank you.
Well done.
Jean, up to you.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I just want to add on to Carl as well. As a player, everything you have as a player is from rugby in life, and my life is like that. And to give something like that back to younger kids and show them, and I mean, like, there's no better place than Mauritius to do something like that, where you can develop the game and be part of something like this. So yeah, we're tremendously excited. I mean, like, when it was first mentioned back at the Sharks, I think there was a queue for who's going to come. So I think we will have to have trials to see we're going to make the team to come here, because I think the whole group at the Sharks will be keen to come here. And I mean, like you said, having sponsors like Air Mauritius and Beach come on board, it's not just the guys arriving that's going to play. It's families, it's friends, it's supporters. I mean, like, for a country like Mauritius, that will also be massive, like you say, in your quieter months. So we're very excited to be part of this, and we can't wait for June to come here and be part of, I think, will be one of the most memorable tournaments on the calendar.
Okay. And done.
Well, if one was roll outside rugby, that's probably outside rugby.
Yeah.
So would I take some questions? Teams that are going to be playing coming.
Yes, so my question is, what are the teams that are coming to Mauritius, apart from Sharks and Toulon?
Well, we've got 6 of the 8 are already signed, and what we've decided to do is we want to actually announce them in stages. So the next 2 teams will be announced next week. But obviously, this is for us is as much to give the due kudos to the clubs as well. Sharks and Toulon will have teams from Australia, New Zealand, and the UK will be coming, because that gives it the global element, but also from the broadcaster's point of view, the interest as well. So watch this space for the next announcements. But we're delighted that 2 of the biggest names, 2 of the biggest clubs in world rugby are here today to start it up. But the rest will come, so we're looking forward to it.
Maybe a question to Mr. Martin. How are you going to help to build up? Maybe Beachcomber is interested with the hotels for the region, Réunion, who likes the rugby, maybe Madagascar, maybe South Africa. How are you going? Is there a campaign the MTP is going to build up, so to get not only the fans but who loves rugby?
Yeah, very much so. And actually, we've been not only in the region. I mean, we've been talking to some of our partners in Réunion Island. They're very excited about it, and actually haven't had the opportunity to meet with Nicolas and Raj to define a proper strategy, proper marketing plan. But there is a lot of interest. We, as we said, we will be there to support the event all the way, and actually The best thing is to have a product at a price which is going to be obviously Mauritius and Beachcomber is going to define it. And once it's defined, we're going to make sure that all the officers, all the representatives of MTPA worldwide will support it. I'm actually not only interest from Réunion Island, but I was in London recently, and in London also there is a lot of interest for the event. Obviously, we will be supporting it through all the fairs. You know, from now is the time where we will have most of both B2B and B2C fairs, and obviously we will rely on those fairs to promote the event. But there is certainly a lot of interest in the region.
I think just to add to that, the tournament was first played in 2014 in Singapore. So the satellite tournaments that we had playing there, we had obviously a lot of teams from Malaysia, Thailand, Hong Kong, a lot of the amateur clubs that come to play. So we've already communicated to them that Mauritius is the venue, and there's interest from all of those people as well, which is another, for us, it's fantastic with Air Mauritius that you've got the routings out of Asia, because these clubs, rugby has a tradition of touring. Clubs go on tour, and the pull to also come and meet and watch some of the best players in the world, but also try and have a game and maybe play alongside them. And this is the pull. This is the pull factor that Mauritius, as a destination, has the icing on the cake in terms of the glamour and the luxury side of it as well. So it's fantastic.
Judging by the press here today and the interest you are showing, I can see there is a lot of interest locally as well, and I'm very pleased about it.
So are we going to a Mauritius World Cup 10s? Because you've said, Mr. Martin, that you would like to have for 3 years, so it is going to be not 1 year, but for next two years. Are we going to that concept of a Mauritius World 10s club?
For us, we're after the first event in 2014. The only time of the year that we can play this event is June. It's the only time the North and the South can play against each other. So in 2015 we weren't able to play the event because of the Rugby World Cup. So we took our time we want to find a home for the event, because again, from my own experience, a date in the calendar in people's diary, as long as they know it's going to the same place, they'll book straight away the year up. And this is what we hope to build here in Mauritius. So you build that sort of footfall and that pilgrimage. As Hong Kong Sevens has become for many people. Most people go there, they've been going for the last 15, 20 years. There's no reason why we couldn't build something like that here in Mauritius.
Hopefully, the event will grow year after year. Now, whether it's up to the organizer and the technical team to decide whether it can be broadened to more than 8 teams or whatever. But we definitely are looking at it in the long run.
Last question for maybe to the players. Is it easy to come from 15 to 10? I've seen 13 in Australia, but is it easy? Maybe to Carl or to Gene or no?
I've never played sevens, but I've watched it on TV and it's very fast. I think that obviously the pace of the game will be a lot faster. I think it's ideal from a spectator's point of view and a player's point of view. Sevens is possibly too fast and too much like touch rugby. Sometimes 15s is too slow and too defensively orientated. So I think 10s can be ideal for the spectator and the players. It's a fast-flowing game that's entertaining for the players and entertaining for the fans.
Yeah, I think it's a much easier transition from 15 players to 10 than it is from 15 to 7. So yeah, it's everybody's game. I mean, like if you're a 7s player, you have to be a specific build, specific speed, specific fitness. But with 10s, it's open for everybody. So I think it's a much more popular thing than 7s underneath all the players. So yeah, no.
The 10s format was the reason for us using it is because it's closer to 15-side rugby. So the players that come, the players will come. These are the guys that you see playing Super Rugby, Top 14, Aviva Premiership. The 7s guys that you see playing aren't those players. So this is the reason for 10s. 10s is also, rugby is unique as a sport, 15-a-side rugby, because it's for all shapes and sizes. 7s is not for all shapes and sizes. Not many of us on this row get into sevens teams nowadays, but tens, we could all get into a tens team and would fit a position somewhere. And that's the beauty of it again, not just the elite clubs, but also the travelling clubs as well. They can bring all their mates, they don't all have to be super fit.
On va prendre une dernière question peut-être, s'il y en a.